What have you learned about yourself in between these albums? Because 6 years is a hell of a long time.
Yeah. Oh man, I learned that consistency is the key to all success. You know what I mean? Stick to what it is you do.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really blame a new artist for a new successful artist for wanting to be more successful. So when you get into them big rooms with those big executives and they feed you all kind of ways to be bigger, sometimes it brings you away from what made you big and your core following. So your music goes from being aggressive and uncut to censored and crossing over to reach a different audience. You know, when Groundhog Day like happens, like basically what happened with me, when you go from being big and then people are a little iffy about you and then have success again, I owe it to my core following. You know, so if I can do anything over, I would not listen to anybody.
Because, you know, being relevant after 6 years is a hell of a long time. Like, there's artists that have been, there's been artists that have been there for like 3 years, 2-3 albums, and no one cares about them.
And then they're done. And then you got to think it was, my first album it's actually been 8 years because my solo album came out in 2004. But I've been, you know, we've been functioning as a group since like 2002. Yeah. You know, late 2001. So I'm going on, you know, 9-10 years in the game, you know, and like you said, it's not hard, it's not easy for an artist to regenerate similar success. You know, when Beamer, Benz, and Bentley dropped, it felt like my first record dropped, you know, so. That
energy, I was in New York, and just in clubs and hearing that joint, the energy it produced was pretty much like fire in a different sense, but it was just
more
like
ignorant way.
Yeah,
and it was more of a hood favorite.
Yeah,
you know, and the record just grew organically.
I want to say something. I'm a bit mad at you, Banks. Right? You putting out songs out there like Beamer, Benz, and Bentley, right? I'm trying to be a rap star myself. Yeah, I can't do it. So you got all the cars, then you got all the girls. What's left for me?
I don't know, man. All the weed. You gotta make a weed record, I guess.
That's cool. I can do that.
Pretty sure you got more than me out here.
Yeah, if you want some, it's 5 minutes away. You know, it's all good. It's all good. I think with you have creative highs every time you have an album. Yeah. Creative highs where it's like you're peaking at a point where people go, "Damn, Banks is that guy." I think recently people have been talking about you more and about what you bring to the game in terms of your content, your presence, your delivery, and everything. And Kanye giving you that stamp. But now, do you feel now you're getting the respect that from your peers as well, the respect that you rightly deserve that 50's been talking about for years now?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, like 50's been saying that since we came in the game, that I was his favorite rapper, you know. And, you know, for artists like Kanye, you know, somebody of his stature to come out and say that, you know, traditionally you know, rappers are like boxers, you know, they never know when to say when, you know, and they never really get props until they're done, until they're not competing themselves. So for Kanye to still be active and still be putting out hit records and great albums, and him to give me respect and acknowledgement, you know, it says a lot about him, you know, and I think that growth, I think that when we come in the game, we're a little naive and a little stuck on ourselves, so it's harder for you to appreciate everything else. So as you go on later, you know, all the sucker stuff goes to the side, you know, and that's part of the reason why I had so many features on this album, because it was like, all right, I just last couple months ago, me having an album wasn't even realistic this year. Wow. You know, so for me to come and have an opportunity after being with Benz, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna approach this album if it was my last, so I'm gonna call Styles P, I'm gonna call Raekwon, I'm gonna do records with these guys as if this is my last shot to do it.
Right. But why did you do it? Why did you feel like you were approaching the album like that? What was it about? Yeah. What was it about that made you think like that?
Because I was being counted out. You know, when I was dropped from Interscope Records, you know, the labels massage the artists to feel like they're part of a team. So the artists are so stupid that they're over here at this building joking on the artists that aren't doing good at the next building, when in reality we're all peer. You understand what I'm saying? Like if we were in Gladiator, we would all be fighting together. Yeah. And they'll be in the chairs at the top of the damn stadium watching us kill each other. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that's, you know, was a lot of unnecessary hate and stuff. And I think that to me, to be getting the respect from my peer, it just says a lot. We got to come back to ground zero. You know, I'm independent right now, but that's where we started, from the street.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way someone's put how the labels treat the artists. They massage them into thinking
that we're enemies.
Yeah,
wow. We're not enemies. You're the opposition. You,
yeah.
You know, the CEOs and then the executives, the artists. You know, we're all out there trying to create the keep the brand going, keep the craft, you know, the art craft going, and sometimes you get caught up in that. But I think that they take advantage of our loyalty. You know, we're so loyal to each other coming in the game, and then everything turns into we until you lose, and then when you lose, it's you.
Yeah, and they discard you, and then you're out there on your own.
And then they go find a new horse.
Damn. Talking about loyalty, I've always been fascinated by the dynamic of G-Unit, right? The way you, Yayo, and 50 are so closely knit, the only kind of person I think of is Bleak to J.
Most definitely.
Right, that loyalty.
Yeah.
But surely, like, you guys must argue, must have like big. Is it a big brother relationship with you guys? That you may argue and then you just, you know, get it done with, and 50 may not speak to you for a while because you did this and did that. Is that how the relationship is? Because I've always been fascinated by how loyal you've stayed, and there's people obviously we won't even get into who have been part of G-Unit and no longer are. And there's obviously reasons for that, but you guys have always stayed closely knit. Is it just that big brother relationship?
Yeah, I think that it's a little more, you know, behind it. It's like if me, 50, and Yayo stop talking, you know, as a group, then, you know, that eventually is going to have an effect on how you talk, you know, on your personal time. So, and then I got to explain to my mom why she doesn't speak to Yayo, or he got to speak to his mom and explain why I haven't been by the house, or, you know, I just seen, you know, 50's grandmother the other day, you know, and, you know, and she hugged me like I'm her kid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's deeper than that. We would have a lot of explaining to do. Not only that, but you got to explain to his kids, and I got to explain to my brothers. It's beyond us. So we would get our ass kicked.
That's good. What was the high point in the process of this album? What was the high point for you in the process of making this album?
The high point, probably probably the Started Up record. You know, because you know, Fabulous came through, Crunch Time for me, Kanye, all that just fell in the pocket. Swizz Beatz, I didn't even know Swizz Beatz was on the chorus till I got to the studio. You know, Ryan Leslie was there,
yeah.
So, you know, it went from an idea, you know, to a reality. So for all those dudes just coming at a very timely fashion, you know, that probably was the biggest part for me.
Who put Swizz on the record then?
Kanye.
He put him himself, like he did that. Wow.
I left him with the record. You know, I had sent my verse. It was me and Fabulous portion to the record, and I basically let him sit with it. You know, because I at least want to see what you come up with. You understand what I'm saying? And what he came up with was crazy, and it showed a lot of personality, added a lot of character, and it changed the whole vibe of the record. It made it fun, because sometimes you need artists to do things that you won't do as an artist. You know, so when Swizz comes in and goes boom, boom, like, I don't think I would have came up with that one.
Right, it's that creativity bouncing off each other. He may bring some different dimension to a song.
Exactly, and they'll accept it more. You know, and a lot of the choruses that have been on my albums, I've written. You know, but I think that it wouldn't be embraced. I don't think you would have embraced Karma the same if you knew I wrote it. That's true. You know,
that's true.
Me singing it. You know? So when you get somebody else to execute it, it just comes off that. You see it all the time. Like if you watch the award show and the R&B artists, they win an award, they say, I want to thank Tim Burton for writing such a beautiful record. You know, and it's just like in hip hop, it's like almost like taboo to say that. Yeah, because otherwise you're not an MC, and you know it's music at the end of the day. I think we've got to move away from that, but I think that comes with maturing. Exactly. That comes with maturity. But that's dope. So what's next for you? Because hold on, wait. You don't make us wait 6 years for another fucking album. Most definitely. We're not doing Dre maneuvers here, right? He still won't put his album out. It's been in damn 11 years. He still ain't put it out. Yeah, I hope it comes out. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out. The label saying February. So okay, that's dope. That's what they're saying. I ain't holding hope, but we can't wait another 6 years for a Banks album. No, most definitely not. I'm definitely working. I'm definitely not gonna get out the loop again. And that's all around the board, mixtape wise. You know, like I said, you got the internet now and social networks like Twitter, to where it's just more than just talking. Like you can post music and get reactions and responses from the records immediately, and it dictates my pace on what I do next. So they can look forward to more mixtape material coming out, and we're gonna balance it out through the whole year, and hopefully drop annually until I'm 34, 35 years old.
Oh, longer than that, Banks. What are we doing? You gonna cut at that point?
I don't. You don't necessarily need 10 albums to have an impact. Biggie Smalls put out 2 albums. And he's compared to Tupac.
That's true, but it was what he did for the game
and his body of work.
Yes.
So I think it's more about the quantity, the quality than quantity.
Okay.